Quack. Hello. Oh, this is not the. This is not what I wanted. I wanted it to be this camera. Hello. So, how's it going? How are we doing? I'm going to show you what I've been doing this week by going to my desktop and trying not to have my face. Maybe I should put my face like somewhere else so that, because I always try to show you like my week by week down here, and then you can't see it. So you see, like my shoot. The grey is serve shoot. The grey is basically work on the shoot app. The purple is Squares TV and then admin and stuff. You can see the grey. I haven't done as much as I'd like, but anyway, for this week. First thing, podcast. I did a bit of work on like how I was gonna do Shoot Pro, and I've gone back to this icon because I was talking to Ian on Wednesday, and he was like, "This is nice. It's got a good level of craft. It's nice. It stands out. I really like it." So I've actually put Shoot back to using this icon, and then I'm sort of working on this Shoot Pro screen. I think this looks pretty good. So that's what I did on Friday. I also played a wee bit of music. If we go to twitch.tv/ if we go to my thing, I had a good time. It was fun. I just thought I'm going to try and like segue into DJ Decane maybe. So it's sort of like, let me see if I can find a. I did some clips. Here's a clip. I put my phone in my front pocket so that it would like move around. So yeah, I had a good session on Friday, but no one watched, so it was a bit lame. Let me make sure that I'm not going to go to the wrong one of these, because I just made it redact some stuff. Coming back to this. Oh, Reels. I did some TikToks as well. TikTok. Profile? No. So I've done 3 TikToks now. They're edited in Final Cut. So I did this little
USB-C cable directly from the iPad into the MacBook that I was using at the time.
So this has
people's communities really helped. You know, you get to know people. You kind of turn up in other people's streams and stuff like that.
596. Like you see, like 289, 274, 632, 162. It's like it's higher than it would be on another platform, but you know, it's not super high. And if we have a look at my Instagram, and look at my profile, and look at my Reels, you can see like these. This got like 1,000. This got 987. This got 954. So you can get like 1,000 on Reels. I don't know if it's turned into traffic or anything, but I tried to do all 3. It's weird how like they're kind of the same, but this one gets 1,000. This one gets 36. This one gets 900. But yeah, that's what I did then. And then I wanted to do this recording a live podcast in OBS post. So this is live at squares.tv. Because I did the interview last week, but I wanted to get this. I wanted to do a video on this. So I've done a video where I kind of take you through how we do the live podcast. I was talking again, and I've just got these little clips lined up. Right, so that was live, and I just wanted to, because we did a podcast episode on yeah, here it is. So we did, no, that's not it. We did a podcast episode based on this Patreon post. So I'm trying to like, I tried to, yeah, Fear, Hope, Grit and Glory. We tried to I tried to get in touch with Kate Holt, who wrote this page. I guess it was 3 years ago. But I haven't had any result from that, but I was hoping that we could maybe get someone to feature it. Maybe she just doesn't work there anymore. And then there was a problem with Squares TV. This took me ages. If you refresh the page, it would jump back up to the top, and it was such a pain. And and then I eventually figured out that it's this Phoenix framework thing, live framework, just turning it onto manual mode when you have a live view, and then just not, you know, and then it just stays like that, and you just end up every time you press back, it just skips back up to the top. So I fixed that bug on Squares TV so that if you click on a link, you can get back to where you were, because it was just a minor thing, but it ended up taking like an hour, like probably like 2 hours trying to figure that one out because it was really inconsistent. Then on Monday I did this background. Check it out. I brought in the shelves from the other room and just sort of set everything up on here so I can have my little trophies. So I was quite pleased about that. So now I've got a bit more of an interesting background for when I'm talking to people. And I have not figured out how to get the mic feed. This is Shoot. Let's have a break. No, let's look at... let's have a little break. We went to Liverpool up at the weekend. As you know, Sharon, the only person watching this, we went to Liverpool, didn't we? It's just me and you, Shaz. Probably. Anyway, don't know who else is watching. Just put a comment if you're watching this, because someone emailed me saying that they'd seen something COVID in one of these videos, but I didn't think anyone watched them. So she was worried that I wasn't supporting Square changes anymore. But I just sort of said, look, I'm not promoting it, but I'm not really adding new features to it. But I'm going to keep it working because I use it every day. What I did on Squares TV then is basically all the Shoot quiz content. So this is the Shoot quiz. It goes to goodtohear.co.uk, and obviously this is squares.tv, and I want all those accounts to be created on Squares TV now. So I needed to make a sort of like data export private token, something that I could connect Squares TV to Good to Hear, pull in all of the stuff, synchronize it with the user database on there. And so I did that so that now I can start like emailing people. And I did talk to someone, a musician that I'm going to interview at some point. So I imported my email list, and then I thought I want to like send a video message. I've got like 150 emails out of Shoot. I want to kind of send a video message to each person. So I'll show you what that entailed. So I've made this blur out email addresses so I can show you. What I had was this. I sort of imported this from Good to Hear, but like this had this is like has like a JavaScript table where I can sort of go through. I can filter. So if I want just me, like I can filter down to Michael's, and then I can sort of select one, and then I could go like preview. But this was built to like email everyone, so I'd like select everyone and then send an email campaign to everyone, and it goes onto another page, and then it sends them one at a time with a little delay, so that if I'm like, oh god, if I spot something, it's not already sent all the emails. So this is what I made for Dungood, and then I started so I'd click on one, I'd go preview. Well, I'd have my message in here, which was about an introduction to Squares TV, saying it's got a personal video message with the right, and then I'd sort of go into here, but it was getting really. This is like the data that this is the quiz responses from the Shoot quiz, and it was just like quite awkward to kind of like compare, and I was worried I was going to make a mistake, so I sent a few that way, and then the next day I rebuilt this whole thing. So now I've got this engine which shows me, again, like grayed out emails. It shows me each. So for a campaign, so video message 1, I've sent 12 out of 130. Oh, that is 15 on production. I've sent like 12 emails. I'm getting through them. I can skip to the next one. And basically, I'll see the email address, and I'll try and figure out what their name is, and then I can, I can update their name in the database, and then now first name will template out to the name. I had the Squares links that you see that goes to a if you look down here, that goes to I can see what the campaign was, so I can see which email they came from, and then also I did this on. yeah, I did this. This is the wrong default. Did I update it? Yeah. Anyway, I've got the text for it, but I also had to do this email settings thing. So you can click once, and it'll automatically log you in as this user. It'll create a token when it sends the email. If you click on that in time, like within a couple of weeks, I think it will log you in and then show you your interests, and then unsubscribe. I made that work as well. So that was a fair bit of work to get that working. And then if I've sent them an email like already, I just wanted to have, so if we sort of like skip a couple through, like some of these people I've like, yeah, well, this is me testing, but like I've already sent messages, so I wanted to be able to get the message history. I wanted to see the results of the shoot quiz up here, so that as I write the email, I can sort of see who I'm talking to. So I built that. And then if they're like a spam email, I can just unsubscribe as well, unsubscribe them there. So it's basically a customer relationship management tool that I've built for myself, so that I can send these video emails. I haven't had a single response to a video email yet, so I don't know if it was worth it. But it's certainly nice to have this tool that I've always wanted something that I can email people one at a time and do a little personal touch, but like not have to rewrite the whole email. I can just like update a little bit of it each time and then send them one. So it is sent individually, but there's a sort of tool that does it. So that was a fair bit of work this week. As you see, I did 5 hours. I did also send some emails as part of that. So yeah, that's all the Squares TV stuff for this week. So let's have clip 2. Song. We were looking at, right, so shoot is the other thing I want to talk about, and actually I've just realised that to show you AirPlay, if we have, I just want to put a video capture device, and I want that to be the phone. Okay, so one of my users this week was telling me about Obs Camera, which is like a £16 iOS app, and it looks like this, and it's weird because it sort of like lives in portrait mode. So, but I quite like how they've got, because there's quite a lot of different camera controls, and he was talking about how he wanted like a white balance that you could do like the temperature and I was like, that'd be good. And then it's got the shutter speed, and it's got quite a nice UX, I think. And it has a plugin for OBS, which just it can send a clean feed. It's not mirroring over QuickTime, but it uses this like USB connection you can see down the bottom, and also output like NDI. Which is all well and good, but I'm actually thinking it sort of ropes you into OBS, because there's only a plugin for OBS. So if you want to use it in Zoom or Ecamm, then you can't. So I think, and also because I think it's a bit flaky, this USB connection. I did do some research in how I could add it to Shoot, because the OBS plugin is open source, so I could potentially do this. But then at the same time, like, I think one of the advantages of Shoot is it doesn't try and like send video itself. It just lets the operating system do it natively, right? It doesn't try and get too clever with sending video over the Wi-Fi. It just lets iOS do its thing, and I think that just works better because Apple have got lower level access to stuff. They'll make sure that AirPlay connection is stable in a way that like if you're doing some random USB thing where the device is like it's not going to get the resources it needs all the time. And I think that's why like you'll come back to it and it won't work anymore, and you'll have to like switch cameras, or like the AirPlay. I see a lot of complaints about like laggy NDI connections. So I think it's cool if I just stick with what I'm doing, even though it does mean a USB connection doesn't work as cleanly because you have the overlays. So if I just show Shoot now, But what I think I can take a few design notes, and that's what I did really. I've sort of I looked at how this works, but I don't like that it's like portrait. So, but this is my design that sort of does a similar thing to the way this works. I also looked at my Canon, like what that screen looks like. But so I've started implementing this sort of design for it because it means I can bring shutter speed in more neatly, white balance in, I like have a zoom control in a way that was like, this would have just grown across the whole screen the way I was doing it. So I think I'm quite glad I saw this design to reference, and where I've got camera 1, 2, 3, I want to change that to be just the proper like back to front, and then use zoom to do the wide angle and the zoom lens, because the telephoto lens on iOS. But because Sharon's got a phone that has that now, because I couldn't test it before, like how the the wide angle and the telephoto lenses work, because I've only got an iPhone XR. But now that I can test on that phone, then I can just make it do the flip front back, and then zoom is what kind of puts it into wide angle mode, which I think I know how to do. So I want to change this to be more like right, settings. I'll have a little 1 on there if there's something I want people to come and see. I'll have flip, I'll have the drawing thing, I'll have flash, I'll have the low battery mode, I'll have the grid, I'll have the microphone toggle if I can ever figure out how to do that. I don't even know if it's possible, because I know that the OBS camera is going to do it in a different way, because it's got a USB connection that it controls, whereas I don't even know if you can send it over USB. But just to show you, so this is shoot. We're looking at shoot. So this is how far I've got so far. So I have actually got like it's a bit awkward at the moment. You can like go into like that's shutter speed. Oops. So if I can press this, we've got. Is that a NHS number? I don't know. Let's so white balance. You see, look, I've got the white balance in Kelvin, which I think is quite cool. This is wrong now. It doesn't do anything anymore. I need to fix that. Zoom, like you sort of do that, and then click on like exposure EV. Like I didn't have that before, the EV control. I just had ISO. Oh my god. Can we go back to auto? Will that put everything back on auto? I'm not sure. Doesn't seem to put white balance back on auto, but if we do that, we can get back to normal. Anyway, so this is how far I am on that. It's still got the grid and things. But the only other thing I will say is shoot. This OBS camera does have a it does have a really nice, like when you tap on the thing, the grid, I don't know if you can see that. You see it like animates it over. I quite like that. Kind of, you get a square or you get a thing. That's kind of cool. You've got the microphone, you can turn it on and off. And it's sort of like, I did have this thing where it like animates the exposure. Like you can see, well, if we look at the ISO, you'll see that get like higher or lower depending on, in theory anyway. Yeah, you'll see it kind of moving around as you come in and out. So I did have that, but I found it a bit creepy. But maybe I'll bring it back in probably, just because it does make sense to be able to see what the current value is. But yeah, anyway, the point is, like I've made a bit of progress on that redesign, and I'm just thinking, like in terms of all this, like I'm just gonna. Like have these, like the one I'm going to add in the new ones, I'm just going to have under Shoot Pro, like the ones that, so you can already zoom and shutter and white balance, no, you can already zoom and ISO, but you can't, and focus, but you can't EV or SS or white balance. So I think I'm just any of the new things, I'm just going to mark those as Shoot Pro only, and then you're going to have to pay like £8 or whatever to unlock the Shoot Pro. Or I'm going to do the subscription model where you can just like, you get new features as they come in. I think I'm going to do that I did in changes. The more I think about it, which lets people that kind of get a lot of value out of it just leave the subscription running, and then if you do just want like what you can see now, you can just pay like $3.99 and then cancel the subscription, which I think that's okay as a model. And it lets people with money that don't notice it going like keep supporting me. But yeah, these are the ones that you can't use yet, like the scribble and the flash and the grid, and the microphone will just be greyed out to start with. And then I think that's how I'm going to do it. So if anyone is a Shoot user watching this, then let me know what you think about that as an idea. And I'll, of course, still have this like Shoot Pro screen and then get Shoot Pro, blah, blah. This has been a long one. I'm sorry, but but I just got a lot to talk about this week. I feel like I've been working very hard, and yeah, I've been like 100% like full time. I'm just working so hard. I'm definitely tempting burnout, and if I'm not careful, it's going to happen. But I'm also really enjoying working this hard. So I'm in this like bind. I don't want to lose another like December, November or whatever like I did in like 2019. I just worked so hard I just like completely couldn't do anything for a month. But at the same time, like, it is kind of fun, so maybe I should just make hay, like, instead of, like, and then eventually I'll be like, oh, I just can't think about this. But I do want to get Shoot Pro up and running so that that can start making me a bit more money. That would be a really good big win. Even though, you know, I'll do the Squares interviews, but like if I could just get like an extra in-app purchase in Shoot Pro, then that would obviously like that would be real money right now, and then that would help me breathe a bit, because I don't think I'm getting a lot out of the virtual assistant thing. It's just 10 hours a month is nothing, and like when you're just like, if the communication isn't totally, you know, if you're not already kind of in tune, it's just like I could spend 10 hours just trying to, I don't know. So I think I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But we'll see. But obviously, like, if money wasn't such a pressure, then it wouldn't be a problem. Like, I could just like throw a bit of money at the problem, and hopefully we. But then, you know, it's weird because like I could spend 280 quid on. I could spend 300 quid on advertising and get definitely like 300 mailing list sign-ups like today. So maybe I should just do advertising instead of. And I really thought this was gonna. But one of the things I wanted to unblock was me like reaching out and talking to people, and I've been reaching out and talking to a lot of people. So I think that aspect has worked, even though the person isn't actually doing it. But anyway, that's where I'm up to. I am a rambler, but it's been a big week, I think. So, you know, and we just did a podcast on doing what you love, and I really am enjoying it. So. There you go. See you next week, or in a minute, Chaz. Bye.